Tuta si Sotto. Tuta si Sotto. Tuta si Sotto. Yan ang lagi nating naririnig, di ba? Tuta si Sotto. Pero dito sa vlog na ito, papatunayan ko sa inyo na totoo yan. Papatunayan ko yan sa inyo, ha? Na totoong-totoo yung mga sabi-sabi na tuta itong si Tito Sotto. Dapat hindi Tito Sotto, dapat Tuta Sotto yan ang nalagay dyan eh. Yang tuta na yan, ang tinutukoy dyan si Martin Romualdez. Tuta siya ni Martin Romualdez. Kasi dito sa interview ni Pinky Webb, dito kay Senator Sotto, ay tinanong siya na how important is Martin Romualdez na mapatawag ito sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee? Alam niyo ba kung ano ang sagot niya? Hindi raw masyadong important yan. Kasi wala raw masyadong bla 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 kung anong mga sinasabi niya. Sabi ko, talagang tuta talaga, no? Tapos, eto pa, may nakita kasing, di ba, pictures. Kasal siguro yun ni Maine Mendoza at yung yung alam yun sa kanyang yung asawa ni Maine Mendoza, Arjo. Nakita yung picture na si Tito Sotto at si Martin Romualdez ay nandoon po sa kasali sa picture. So meaning to say, magkakilala sila o kung meron mang mga common friends siguro na parang kumpare or ewan ko lang kung anong tawag dyan, ha. Basta kaibigan sila ni Martin Romualdez at siguro may mga malalim na relasyon silang dalawa. Siguro baka meron. Kaya parang hindi importante sa kanya, hindi masyadong importante na mapatawag sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Kung maalala ninyo kung gaano po katuta itong si Sotto konting flashback muna. Okay? Remember na itong si Cheese Escudero pa ang Senate President. Si Cheese Escudero lang naman ang Senate President na tinuloy ang investigasyon sa Blue Ribbon Committee with Senator Marcoleta na that was the first time na merong government official o senador na nabanggit ang pangalan ni Martin Romualdez at ni Zaldico. That was the first time. Kaya nga pumutok na ang issue, di ba? Na talaga si Martin Romualdez at si Zaldico ang dapat questionin dito sa malakihang korupsyon ng flood control anomaly. Dahil yan kay Cheese Escudero. Wala pang isang week, no? Wala pang 1 week. Natanggal si Cheese Escudero dahil nagkodita. Si Marcoleta pinalitan sa Blue Ribbon Committee. Tapos, may issue kaagad ni Cheese Escudero na kurakot si Cheese, may kinaugnayan sa mga contractors, tapos itong si Marcoleta, nilagyan nila ng kulay yung mga insurance company niya na doon nagtatrabaho ang asawa. Di ba? Ganyan po katuta si Sotto na pwedeng baliktarin ang usapan. Hindi ko kasi ibig sabihin na si Sotto ang dahilan doon na nabaliktad. What do I mean? Si Sotto ang nalagay bilang Senate President. Kuno, ang sabi nila, binoto yan ng mga senador, yung pagkudita-kudita na yan. Diba? Kung matino ka na na senador, Tito Sotto, dapat ipinagpatuloy mo yung investigasyon na patungo na sana yun kay Martin Romualdez at Zaldico. Biglang watak-watak kayo dyan sa Senado, kayo na ang nag-away-away, si Guteza ngayon ang blame ng ini-blame ninyo. O dito kasi, mas importante pa sa kanya na i-blame itong si Guteza na kasinungalingan niyang si Guteza siguro. Yan siguro ang paniniwala niya. Tapos yung nagka-problema pa sa affidavit ni notarize ni Guteza. Di ba? So, ako sabi ko, tuta talaga siya. Sa totoo lang, Sotto, no, sa sarili kong paniwala at opinion, wala kang plano na ma-solve itong problema natin sa Pilipinas, itong flood control anomaly o korupsyon, malawakang korupsyon. kung walang mapanagot dyan sa korupsyon, kung walang masampulan, itong gobyerno na ito, magkurakot ng magkurakot ng magkurakot. Hindi na sila matakot mangungurakot kasi wala namang nasampulan, wala namang napaparusahan, di ba? Yan ang sabi ko sa inyo. Hanggang si Tito Sotto ang Senate President dyan sa Senado, useless yung Blue Ribbon Committee na yan. Hindi talaga yan pupunta sa tamang direksyon. At hanggang si Bongbong Marcos ang presidente, bangag pa rin tayong lahat dito. Bago ko ipapakita itong video na ito na interview ni Tito Sotto, help me po muna ha. Help me po muna na i-like at saka i-share itong video na ito para guys kakalat ito sa taong bayan. Okay? Sabay-sabay muna tayong mag-like and share sa Donmar TV. Itong video na ito, like and share. 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, naka-like and share na ba lahat? And also guys, sa mga bago pa lang dito sa aking channel, mag-subscribe na po kayo para lagi kayong updated sa ating mga balita. And at the same time, yung mga cellphone ninyo, ma-notify yan kung meron tayong breaking news, bagong uploads, o kung nagla-live ang ating channel. Ma-notify kayo lahat dyan. Kaya mahalaga po na mag-subscribe tayo sa Donmar TV. 1, 2, 3, go! Ayan, nakasubscribe na ba lahat? Okay, ito po yung interview ha. Magre-react tayo dito. Play!
Senate President Tito Sotto. SP, good to see you.
Thank you very
Finally?
much.
Maraming salamat po
Thank
for the
you for
opportunity
the
and the time.
invitation. I think this is my second time on point. Or
Is it
the
your
first
second time?
Sana tanungin rin ni Pinky Webb yung totoo ba yung may kabit siya, no? De, joke lang.
I think so.
I think,
Or
yeah.
my second time in Billionario.
I think so. Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
SP.
My pleasure to be here.
Because you go back to work after a month-long break. This coming Monday, both houses are
yes.
back after a month-long break. Certainly people will be anticipating, SP, the resumption of the flood control hearings, which is set to happen on November 14, if I'm not mistaken.
The projected schedule is supposed to be on November 14 as far as Senator Ping Lacson is concerned and most of the members of the Blue Ribbon Committee. And of course, by Monday, Senator Lacson is set to either retake or we will re-elect him as chairman of the Blue Ribbon.
And nothing can
May padrama-drama pang ayaw na niya sa Blue Ribbon, tatanggapin lang pala. Drama mo, Lacson?
stop that. You are already sure that he will be the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee chairman again?
I think so. Yes, I believe so. I don't see or hear any objection from our members.
What is so different now from the time, sir, that Senator Ping Lacson left? Sabi nga niya dati, pag ayoko na. If it's a no, it's a no. Sabi niya, hindi ho ba? To the time that he is going to come back as...
Yan ang mga tao na walang isang salita. Sabi pa nga ni Ping Lacson, ayoko na. Pag ayaw ko na, pero babalik pala. So, anong tawag mo doon? Kadramahan. Ang tao, binudol. Yun. Manang-mana talaga kayo. Manang-mana talaga kayo sa leader ninyong si Bangag.
Senate Blue Ribbon Committee Chairman.
I'd like to think that public clamor has to do a lot with plenty of the matters arose after he said that he would like.
Ito lang yung Senate President na pang-artista yung utak niya dyan sa Senado. Kadramahan. Ay, nako. Sabi pa niya, huwag kayong ganyan. Iiyak pa ba? Yung tinawag siya na, yung sabi niya, mas malaki pa raw na itulong sa noontime show. Huwag kayong ganyan. Alam niyo, insulto yun ha. Yung sinabi niya na mas malaki pa ang naitulong sa noontime show dyan sa Senado. Ay, ang insulto yan sa mga senador bakit hindi ka mag noontime show ka na lang kung sa tingin mo mas malaki ang naitulong ng noontime show? Bakit nagsenador ka pa? 'Di ba?
to resign from
Di
the
ba?
committee. So I would say public clamor is one. And also from our members, there were 4 or 5 names being thought of or mentioned. There was only one who was quite interested, that we never got to discussing it. Perhaps it was a good. It's a good thing that Senator Lacson agreed to retake it.
All right. There was already this news, Senate President, that you had mentioned that you plan to meet with Congressman Martin Romualdez. I think that was yesterday, if not the other day. And you
Heto na yung kay Romualdez.
said that could happen tomorrow or the day after. Has this happened? Has
Well,
there been any communication?
We communicated, no, but more or less, it was just parang filling out if the interparliamentary courtesy would be would be proper, or if we should invite Congressman Martin through the speaker, or to directly send an invitation to him, or if it is necessary, even at this point. So perhaps the meeting of the Blue Ribbon before the Blue Ribbon hearing itself, we can discuss it. Of course, the final say would be with the chairman, Senator Lacson. That's his final say, who he would want to invite. I understand that he is still also still inviting the Discayas and a number of names that have been mentioned lately.
So what was it a text message? Was it a call that you had with Congressman Martin?
We had a call.
Okay. And then, so what can you share us about the conversation? Did you tell him that we want to invite you? Will you be able to come? Are you open to coming?
I mentioned something to that effect, that there is a possibility that we can send an invitation, or send an invitation through, and it's possible also that he can send a manifestation, or he could attend. Just in between chit-chats.
Okay. And what was his reaction?
He was quite positive about it. I did not notice any pessimism.
Would you say that he was?
He's probably studying it.
Would you say he was open?
We ended into that possibility that sige, pag-aralan natin. Pag-aralan niya.
How
And
important?
he's also perhaps would consult with his lawyers.
How important do you think is it for former Speaker Martin Romualdez to actually show up?
Ito na ha. Tinanong na ni Pinky Webb, gaano kaimportante itong si Martin Romualdez na maitanong dyan sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee sa Senado? Ito yung sagot niya.
At the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearings.
He's only been mentioned once.
Yan ang ano niya ha. He is only mentioned once. Kaisa lang raw siyang na-mention. May tanong ko sa iyo, Soto. Taga saang planeta ka? Mention once? Si Martin Romualdez raw ay nabanggit ang kanyang pangalan kaisa lang raw. Hindi mo ba alam na he is the House Speaker of the biggest 2025 national budget? So, that's how important it is na itong si Martin Romualdez ay maitanong dyan sa budget na, putang inang budget na yan. Diba? So, na-mention raw ng once. So, kung na-mention ng once itong si Martin Romualdez, anong sagot mo dyan?
And so I don't know. I will not have a fairly good.
I am not fairly good na ipatawag siya, parang ganon. Ganyan siya. So, hindi importante sa kanya na ipatawag si Martin Romualdez kasi nabanggit lang siya ng kaisa eh. Di ba? So, anong tawag nyo kay Soto? Instead na Tito Sotto, Tuta Soto. Tuta ka talaga, sir. Tuta ka.
Judgment of how important that would be.
Grabe.
And
There
when
are
you say
more-
he was
Huh?
mentioned once, nung sinabi niyo pong he was only mentioned once, and this
In
is
the
through...
Blue Ribbon.
Yes, and this is through Sergeant Orly Gutesa.
Yeah,
Would that be correct,
the
sir?
The Gutesa affidavit that is being questioned.
Pinagtawan na niya. Affidavit niya, question. Doon kayo mag-focus ni Gutesa yung ni Martin Romualdez. Yung sinabi ni Gutesa lang po, no? Nagka-problema sa notarize. Doon lang naman yun. Pero yung sinabi ni Gutesa, bigyan ninyo ng pansin. You investigate. Diba? Huwag niyong tawanan. Huwag niyong baliwalain itong si Gutesa. Yan ang ibig sabihin. I hope na yung mga sinasabi ni Gutesa na pumasok sila dyan sa compound, kung anong compound na yan, tama yung nabanggit ni Lacson, yung logbook. I-check nyo yun. Huwag nyong pagtawanan si Gutesa. Okay? Hindi po si Gutesa ang bigyan nyo ng nagsinungaling, bla 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 bla. Investigahan nyo kung nagsinungaling ba. Huwag nyong, do not put the blame on him. Hindi naman nagnakaw si Gutesa. Hindi siya ang corrupt dito. Ang posible pa na nangungurakot ay si Martin Romualdez pa. Ang posible. Pero hindi muna tayo mag-judge dyan na corrupt talaga si Martin Romualdez. Imbestigahan natin sa Senado. Patunayan muna natin na masagot niya ang mga tanong na dapat na maitanong. Kasi gusto ko hintayin ko yung time na si Marcoleta ang magtanong dito kay Martin Romualdez. Tingnan natin, di ba?
So there are other issues that we can tackle. But of course, that's part of what some quarters are saying or asking. We leave it to the
Gesture niya, tuta.
chairman and members of the committee.
But you have a very good relationship with Senator Ping Lacson, of course. Madalas po kayo nag-uusap. With regards to the former speaker, he basically said, am I correct, that he would discuss this with his lawyers, the possibility of...
As I said, in between chit-chats, at marami rin kaming napapagkwentuhan, siyempre. And then, something like, sige, pag-aralan natin. Ganun.
Are you concerned, Senate President?
Ito yung senador na lagi ang kanyang pag-aralan. Sir, lagi na lang tayong pag-aralan. Ito yung mga weak leader kagaya rin ni Bangag, no? Na yung solusyon ng problema, lagi na lang pag-aralan natin. Sige, pag-aralan natin. 'Di ba? Kung tanungin ka, "Sir, may kabit ka ba?" Sabihin ni Tito Sotto, "Pag-aralan ko 'yan kung may kabit ako." Parang ganun.
That with you calling Congressman Martin Romualdez, that again, this issue in the past, yung sinasabing interparliamentary courtesy, etc., that you can only go so far, that lumabas yung you are protecting Congressman Martin Romualdez.
Correct. He is protecting. Siguro. Yan ang hindi ako nagsabi lang yan Nagdududa ako, taong bayan, na baka nga pinoprotektahan nyo. Di ba? Yan ang, alam mo, Soto, yan talaga ang mindset ngayon sa tao.
With this kind of talk, that possibility of inviting him, etc., would this idea of you possibly protecting him again come up, and what do you say to that?
No, I have never protected anyone.
Okay, wala na siyang pinopektahan. Okay.
It's not in my
Tingnan yung gesture niya, bigyan di ba? Kanina seryoso siya. Ngayon, tingnan yung mukha niya. I never protected everyone. Sir, klarong-klaro naman yung picture niyo doon sa kasal ni Maine Mendoza. Magkakilala kayo. May malalim kayong respetuhan. Yun lang term natin. May malalim kayong respetuhan ni Romualdez. Na parang, siguro, sa sobrang laki ng respeto mo sa kanya, di mo masyadong madiin. Ang dapat idiin. Hindi mo masyadong maibaon. Ang dapat ibaon. 'Di ba?
In my nature to do so. You know. Perhaps what we could say is that interparliamentary courtesy has to be mentioned no matter what because he's a sitting congressman.
Yan ang napala ninyo. Bakit nyo binoto ito? Yan, dalawang yan. Bakit nyo binoto yan? Yan ang napala ninyo. Ang problema ng Pilipinas na dapat ay solved na sana dahil dito, sa dalawa na ito, naging malabo pa.
Whether he is Martin Romualdez or he is Mark Enverga, we have never, and I do not recall the Senate inviting or issuing a subpoena to any member of Congress from the time that I was senator in 1992 up to the present.
Inviting, yes. You invited Congressman Toby Tiangco.
No, he presented himself. Even Ching Veloso, Congressman Ching Veloso,
Yeah.
during the time that we were investigating the illegal drugs issue in the Visayas, he came on his own. He was not invited.
So you don't recall
We
anyone?
invite.
So, meaning to say, Soto, hindi nyo i-invite si Martin Romualdez for parliamentary courtesy, di ba? Sir, saka muna yung parliamentary courtesy na yan. Billion of pesos ang nawala dito sa pera ng taong bayan. Di ba? Sana naman you be held accountable sila doon. Sila yung nagproseso doon sa pera na yon. So ngayon na nakaproblema yung pera na yan, siyempre naman sir, yung parliamentary courtesy na yan, wag naman nating gawing rason na hindi natin mapa-invite si Martin Romualdez para questionin, tanungin. Hindi naman siya pagbibintangan. Tanungin siya, questionin siya, anong nangyari doon? That's for the solution dito sa hinanakit ng taong bayan. Saan mo papipiliin? Yung taong bayan na they need answers? O dahil dyan sa kagaguhan yung parliamentary courtesy na yan? Ginagago niyo yung tao eh.
Members of House, if
Hindi
they
raw ma-invite si Martin Romualdez kay parliamentary courtesy, putang inang parliamentary na yan eh. Ang taong bayan galit na. Lumalabas na sa kalye yung mga hindi dapat lumabas. Tapos kayo parliamentary courtesy pa rin ang concern ninyo. Be concerned of the money, billions of money na nawala. Utak mo, Soto. Doon ka nga sa noong time show mo, balik ka doon.
are the sponsors of any particular bill. Like for example, if we are taking up the, let's say the cityhood of Makati, which I sponsored before, we invited
Yan ang napala natin dito sa taong to eh.
Congressman Joker Arroyo. He was a sponsor in the House to give us a better perspective of why we should make Makati a city.
Is that
Something
so?
like that. So it's not in a controversy.
Yeah, not in
an
any
investigation.
controversial issue.
Not in a blue ribbon investigation. So, as I said, I leave it up to my chairman.
But there's always a first, no?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
Zaldi,
Walang kwentang Senate President. Sa totoo lang.
let's talk about it.
To be fair naman kay Soto walang kwentang Senate President dito sa Blue Ribbon Committee Hindi ko lahat di lahat ng mga usapin diyan sa Senado na mga ibang mga committee diyan. Dito lang, walang kwenta siya dito sa Blue Ribbon Committee.
And I'm sure you've seen and you've heard his lawyer, I'm assuming, sir, Attorney Roy Rundain, speaking on behalf
I've heard a couple of minutes, perhaps. Maiksi lang. I'm not private to what he actually said.
Okay, just to basically give the audience, those watching us today, what he said. He basically said, it doesn't seem that Zaldico will be returning to the country because, and I quote, he is deathly afraid of coming home because there are real serious threats to his life. one half of the country wants to throw him in jail.
Yan ang sinabi ni Zaldico. Tingnan natin kung sasang-ayon siya kay Zaldico o hindi siya sasang-ayon kay Zaldico. Kasi kung sasang-ayon siya dito kay Zaldico, halata na.
And throw away the key. And the other half wants to string him up by the nearest tree. Ibig sabihin po nun, Senate President, hindi ho uuwi. It's, at least not now, hindi po uuwi si Zaldico. How does this affect the whole investigation, or at least the quest to finding out more about this flood control scandal?
That's his opinion. That is the opinion of the lawyer. Now, as far as I'm concerned, we
Bobo talaga itong senador na ito. Hindi po opinion ng lawyer yan. Sinabi po ng lawyer na dahil si Zaldico hindi makapunta rito because that's the reason ni Zaldico. Siya lang po ang nagsabi, ang lawyer niya, spokesperson nga. Utak ni Soto. That's not the opinion of the lawyer. The message was dinala dyan sa lawyer ni Zaldico.
follow the law. We will invite, if our committee invites him, we will invite him. If he does not appear, we will issue a subpoena. If he does not appear and accepts the subpoena, we will issue a warrant of arrest. That's as far as we can go.
Buti naman na ganyan.
He even came home to say, he rather said, would you come home under those circumstances? I wouldn't recommend that he come home. That's the lawyer basically telling the media that he didn't even recommend that Zaldico come home under these certain circumstances that the former congressman is facing.
As I said, that's his opinion. I would have a different opinion. If I believe in my client, I will tell my client to face the allegations and prove them wrong.
What effect do you think it will have if he doesn't return?
He will become a fugitive. And he might be tried in absentia. And he might be found guilty in absentia. That's how
That's
it
as far-
goes.
Zaldico, umuwi ka na raw kasi magiging fugitive ka, sabi ni Tito Sotto. Anong pipiliin mo, Zaldico?
As it goes.
I think so.
But what about...
But then, if that happens, then, as I said, being a fugitive, nowadays, Interpol and all that, it will be very difficult to hide,
You will be found one way or another.
for sure.
But
Might take some time, but he will be found. So it is best that he face the allegations, he face the music.
I remember speaking to Congressman Toby Tiangco maybe a week ago, sir, and he was saying that there's the possibility that, number one, he can go to a country that has no extradition treaty. That's number one. Number two, he can actually apply for a passport in another country. I don't know, maybe through whether it be a golden visa or some other method, sir. And even if government, cancels his passport, meron pa rin siyang ibang passport na pwedeng applyan niya sa ibang bansa. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, he can do all that, but there are ways of skinning the cat. There are ways of going about it also that government may be able to do. It's not that easy
It's not that easy to what?
to stay
evade.
a fugitive and live a different life in a different country. It's not that easy.
Let's talk about the Senate.
Although she might have a lot of money to do that, no, but then again,
Hindi kaya mauubos yung pera?
government can find ways to go around the extradition laws.
Nakaya nga nila si Alice Guo. Nakaya nga nila si TEVES. Heto pa kaya, di ba? Pero walang effort ang bangag. Walang effort ang bangag administration.
How important is it? Ganito na lang po, Senate President, na mabalik siya dito sa bansa and to answer the allegations against him.
Well, It is very important because he was the chairman of the appropriations of the House of Representatives from 2023, I think, 22, 23, up to the 2025. You know, the 22, 23, 24 budgets were perhaps riddled with issues, with questions, yes. But the 2025 budget was the worst. You see, that is the reason na ganyang kalaki pumutok ito, and that is the reason that it angered the president. Because sumobra. Although he already vetoed about 162 billion, the president vetoed that, but still marami talagang, you know, when you're looking at volumes of papers in about, I think, 6 to 8 packages, it is not easy to look for for the pork, so to speak. So, talagang importante because he would be able to shed light also on how it came about and what happened.
Can't Congressman Martin Romualdez do that on behalf of Congressman Zaldico?
If he attended the BICAM, if he attended the BICAM himself instead of just signing it, then he would be privy to all that. No?
Can't
Like in my case, if you will recall, in 2018, I refused to sign the budget, which came from the House of Representatives, because I was told by Senator Lacson that there was a 75 billion insertion. So I refused to sign it. No? Until now, it is the only budget in the history of the Philippines from the time of Quezon to now that there is an annotation by the Senate President in the budget. All because ganun eh. So, once you find out, you must do something about it. So, your question, I don't know. Was he there at the BICAM? Did he know?
do you have to be in the BICAM to know?
If there are insertions, of course. If it is done in the BICAM, of course. Definitely.
Would
And
your
then members...
sorry, sir. Would your Appropriations Committee chairman, handpicked by yourself, do this without your knowledge?
It will be found. It will be found. He can do that, of course, but if you're scrutinizing it, it will be found.
But there are other people.
If you turn a blind eye,
Well, that's a different story.
oh, that's a different story. Yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to find out here is who is really complicit. Because if we're talking about the 2025 budget that they called a mangled budget, the budget that was, the president couldn't even, ano ba sinabi niya? Hindi na niya parang namukaan itong budget na to. Hindi na klaro sa
Correct.
kanya.
It was a far cry from the NEP.
Yes, from the NEP, right? If we're just talking about a Zaldico who can explain this, I mean, there are other people who can explain this as well. The Speaker, then, Martin Romualdez, the Senate President, then, Chis Escudero, the House Appropriations Committee Chair, then, Zaldico, the Senate counterpart, Senator
Grace Poe.
Grace Poe. And, sir, nandun pa po yung opposition congressman and senator, hindi ko ba? Part of the BICAM.
If ever they were in the big BICAM, or the actual BICAM. But in the small BICAM that they created, I was told that it was only Senator Escudero and Congressman Zaldico who attended the small BICAM. That's as far as the information given to me. I was not there.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, after everything, sir, after lahat po ng inyong hearings sa House, sa Senado, sa iba't ibang departamento, I mean, nandun po yun, sponsoring the budget, hindi ho ba? Pagkatapos nun, magkakaroon ng small committee na tinanggal na po ngayon. Tapos nagkaroon ng BICAM. And then pagkatapos nun, you're saying that after that BICAM, nagkaroon pa po ng mini BICAM na silang dalawa lang.
Yeah, that's what happened. They admit to that anyway.
All right. We're going to take a very short break. We'll continue our discussion with
Yeah.
Senate President Tito Sotto. Two things, sir. One is, who are the important witnesses, or resource persons rather, you think should appear in the next hearings? Because I cannot imagine this to be any more prolonged, ano po, especially with Senator Ping Lacson and the budget. So, sino yung mga napaka-importanting witness na kailangan magpakita?
That will be a very difficult question for me to answer because as I said, I leave it to the chairman of the Blue Ribbon, and he has started looking into the past hearings. I have not, you know.
Klaro ito na hugas kamay rin ito eh. Hahayaan lang raw niya si Lacson. Oh. Tumulong ka. Senate President ka.
But I think he's going to present 2 or 3 other personalities that will give or shed light to umbrella lang yung alam ko. So, I'm not private to the salaman.
Meron daw siyang very important witness. Sabi ni Senator Ping
Yes,
Lacson.
he said so. And I don't know, but I never got to asking him. I don't know. I didn't want to ask him. Unless he told me personally, I will not. I do not pry into the matters of other people.
Maybe it's also better, sir, that sometimes you don't know much about it so that when you're being asked, you don't have to lie.
Of course.
Okay.
Oh, that will be the last thing that I will do.
All right, but I'm sure you've heard about this supposed to be special, very important witness. Oo.
Somehow, yeah. More or less.
Do you agree
I'm not
that
sure
it's
about
a very important witness? Marami ho ba itong may babahagi?
Nagiging very important witness ang isang witness kung maraming i-reveal na dokumentado. Na
Ay, si Guteza na yan. Oh, totoo eh. Guteza naman yan eh. Yung very important. Pero binawali-wala lang ninyo. Ganyan kayo ka garapal eh.
ika ngay may value at may resibo or may ebidensya. Di ba? Then it becomes, he or she becomes a very important witness. Kasi madaling gumawa ng kwento. Madaling magsalita ng kwento. Anong prueba mo? Ganun eh. I think that's very important. And of course, the Blue Ribbon Committee, as a reminder to everyone, is not a prosecutorial body.
Of course.
We are there in aid of legislation. So what we want to find out is how this will never happen again. Right now, there are measures that we are undertaking so that the 2026 budget will be as clean as possible, and as ideal as possible. And that was a commitment that I gave not only to the public but also to the president.
Yeah. And, well, that's something I really want to talk about just in a bit, just very quickly, sir. What about Sergeant Orly Gutesa? Is it important that he actually shows up? There was an interview with Senator Ping Lacson. Sabi po, tinanong siya kung papaano hindi daw mahanap kasi si Sergeant Orly Gutesa. Tinanong kung tatawagin si Congressman Mike Defensor dahil siya nagpakilala kay Senator Marcoleta. Sabi ni Senator Ping, it's not really important to even invite former Congressman Mike Defensor. And bakit daw padala na lang through Senator Marcoleta yung subpoena?
The subpoena, yeah. Siyempre, sila naman ang kausap eh. So, the subpoena, I think, was sent through them. I'm not too sure about that. But it is best that he attend so that he can be, he can enlighten the committee on how an affidavit is sworn with the a lawyer na wala doon.
Attorney Spell.
Ganun. So, di natin masabi. It's better that he attends.
I wanted to also find out from you, what kind of anticipation or how are you actually possibly preparing for the continuation of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearings? Because Senator Ping Lacson already said during an interview na hindi naman daw sila nag-uusap ni Senator Marcoleta. He mentioned something like that during, I don't know if it was kapihan, sir, or something na kayo po ay paminsan nandun po sa gitna ng chairman. Kasi yung ano po ninyo, nandito si chairman, nandito po kayo, tas nandito si Senator Marcoleta. At least yun po yung seating arrangement nyo noon. When you have a chairman and a former chairman who are not really talking, at least according to Senator Ping Lacson, is that hard to maneuver? Would it be hard to maneuver something like that?
Well, not really. I talked to both of them. I talked to both of them. And it's you have to master the art of compromise. That's one
And
thing.
you master that.
That's one thing. When you become a leader, the majority leader or minority leader that I've been before, or Senate President that I've been before, you have to master the art of compromise. You have to talk to all of them. Oh, yeah, and you have to be open to all of them. You know, see, we look forward to looking at the Blue Ribbon hearing. We're looking forward to other measures that will be taken up. It should not be limited to this flood control issue alone. I'm sure after the hearing on Friday, well, hopefully, there will be enough pieces of legislation that we can come up with, and then perhaps the Blue Ribbon can go into. Of course, we'll leave it to the chairman. That he could go to the other issues that should be discussed.
as well.
No? The public accountability of other officers, not just the DPWH. We can talk about the DA, the the DOH, all the even the DSWD or TENR. Maraming dapat tignan tayo na baka ang the accountability of public officers that the Blue Ribbon can look into would give us more insight on how to prevent such happenings in the budget of government in the future, and how the money of the people is spent, and it should be spent well for them, to them.
In aid of legislation, kaya po ito nangyayari, hindi to prosecutorial. Ito po ay para bumalangkas na naman ng mga batas para maiwasan ng pangungulimbat. Hindi ho ba?
Correct.
Tito Sen, sa tagal niyo ho sa politika, meron pa ho bang kailangan batas na kailangan gawin para po to safeguard the people?
Aba, no? Oo nga, tama nga naman itong si Pinky Webb, no? Sa tagal-tagal mo na diyang naging senador, alam mo na sana, kahit tagal-tagal mong naging senador, bakit nalusutan pa rin itong korupsyon na ito? Ano ba ang mga batas na ginawa niyo na nalusutan pa rin kayo? Di ba? Naalala ko pa nung ikaw ay unang senador na hindi pa maputi yung buhok mo. Hanggang ngayong pumuti na ang buhok mo, ngayon ay halos nga yung mata mo na ang pumuti. Palpak ka rin as a senator.
Yes, Manny. I mean, what have you not done right?
Anong mga kamalian nyo bilang isang senador na bakit nalulusutan pa din kayo ng korupsyon? Yan ang tanong niya.
And why did this have to happen again?
If Congress has to be dynamic, because society is dynamic, and the corruption is dynamic too. Nung araw wala namang CDF lang nung araw eh. At saka
Countrywide
yung
Development Fund.
PDAF. Ganun lang nung araw eh. O, hindi ba inalis niyo yung PDAF? CDF inalis. Pinalitan PDAF.
Right.
Sabi ng Supreme Court yung PDAF illegal. Nakahanap ng iba eh. So we have to find another, you have to find it and stop it. You know, the corruption is dynamic too. You know, that's a problem. So,
But you have to be three steps ahead.
the laws that, like for example, outright, ano mga pwede dito sa nakikita ko ngayon?
Nandiyan na naman tayo sa Altry. Kanina, pag-aralan. Tito Sotto, I'll try. Pag-isipan. Pag-aralan natin yan. Ay, nako, Tito Sotto.
Dapat bawal ang small bicam. Put it in the rules.
Yeah.
Wala tayong ganun eh. Walang rule na ganun. Gagawin lang namin ngayon yun because napag-usapan. Paano pag hindi na ako Senate President? Di ba?
And they can always change that pag hindi ka na Senate President
Pag hindi
also,
na ako
hindi
Senate
mo ba?
President. Sabihin nyo, hindi, pwede na uli. Wala na yung magugulo.
Okay, what else?
Sabihin, di ba? So, isa yun. Di ba? The rules of the budget, pwede pag-usapan, pwede rin may mga makikita kami doon na kung paano i-handle. Like for example, the programming of the unprogrammed.
Yeah. Can we talk about
No?
that?
We
have 2
can
minutes left.
perhaps, we can perhaps, remember, the budget is the single most important piece of legislation that we should pass every year. It's a law.
Right.
And part of the findings of the Blue Ribbon Committee can be incorporated in the budget on how provisions can be placed so that, let's say, the budget of the NR is not used for this, the SWD is not used for that, or the DOH. Ganon.
And apart from that, quickly, can we just quickly talk about ito pong mga ayuda that are they still present in the 2026 budget, Tito Sen? Itong mga MAIP, AIS, etc.
As far as I know, and I was discussing this with Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, our chairman of the Committee on Finance, who was very, very hands-on on everything. Even the vice chairman, his vice chairman, were discussing and hearing some of the different departments. He was always present. He made sure that he was there. So he was giving me a briefing yesterday. In the NEP, in the National Expenditure Program already, it's already present. But it is well placed. Like, for example, MAIP, or Medical Assistance for Indigenous so-and-so, is in the DOH. You know? And then the assistance for assistance in crisis.
Individuals in crisis.
Individuals in
AICs.
crisis, yes. At saka yung tupad, di ba? And then the tunong-dunong for schools. That is in the NEP already. It's already present in the NEP.
Okay.
And we think that it's, Senator Gatchalian was briefing me about it. In the House version, there would be some additional to this that most probably is placed in the program. And that is one thing that we do not want. So we will be discussing it with the leaders of the House at the proper time during the BICAM. If ever there's going to be a beachhead in the BICAM Conference Committee, it will be that. It will be the program, because we would like to retain only foreign-assisted projects in the program.
Right.
You know, and the rest should be not just modified, but explicit. For example, the medical assistance, let's put it in the DOH. The assistance to
Individuals in
individuals
crisis.
and in crisis, DSWD.
DSWD, yeah. And then tupad,
Ganun,
dole.
tupad. Tupad, yes, dole.
Yes, dole.
And then tunong-dunong, DepEd.
Yeah.
Or CHED, di ba? Ganun yung sa amin. Ano? And hopefully by November 13, the sponsorship of the budget will be, as far as the Senate GOB is concerned, General Appropriations Bill of the
yeah.
Senate
Yeah.
is concerned. It will be on Thursday.
Senate President Tito Sotto, I wish
Okay, so ayan, narinig nyo ang mga sagot dito ni Tito Sotto, no? Sa mga maiinit na issues ngayon patungkol dito sa flood control anomaly. Okay? So, kayo nang humusga. Ilatag nyo ang inyong komento, reaksyon, argumento sa sinabi ni Tito Sotto sa comment section. Okay? At mag-usap-usap tayo doon. Paki-like, paki-share sa mga nanonood para kakalat sa taong bayan. And sa mga first time dito sa Donmar TV, subscribe na po kayo. Libre ang subscription. Walang bayad yan sa YouTube. At yan, updated pa kayo sa ating mga topics. Okay? See you in my next video. Have a great day. Have a great night. God bless po sa ating lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. And God save the Philippines. Bye-bye.